The modern world is bad. It is inhumane, unfair, and unjust. This is the world of money. It is not for people. It is not for those who produce this money. For bankers and financiers, governments and millionaires. And people are mere pawn in this game. They just serve them as attendants. Why do bankers work less and earn 100 times more? What lies behind the social welfare? Labor. But why do bankers live 100 times better than common people who really work hard? Do the bankers work harder? Definitely they don't. In addition, they do not even produce any material values as opposed to the workers. Why then the difference in income is so enormous? Many wonder with all sincerity now reading this. Well, the banker and the worker, they cannot be compared. The banker, the head of bank, he has power over money and is well connected. And we are ordinary people, having no power or clout. Naturally, the banker lives better than we do. Meanwhile, there is nothing natural here. The point is that everyone got used to this state of affairs and take it as a matter of course. People believe that this is the way of the world, that a banker has to live better. And it cannot be otherwise. But in reality, things are different and the situation can be changed. But yet, why? Why does the banker work less, but live better? Better than a factory worker, miner, oil rigger, or woodcutter? Because the banker has always got money. Exactly, it's all about money. Money. This is the whole point. The cornerstone, and about it, we will talk in more details. If money is a measure of labor, why is the world unjust? So what is money? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe it's a calculation, tool, or a measure of labor. As we are taught from childhood, we have to work, and work, because money won't fall down from the sky. It should be honestly and hardly earned. Everyone was led to believe it from the cradle. It's interesting. What would billionaires say to that, who honestly and hardly earned all their billions? It is ridiculous, isn't it? Well, we work without cease. But what will we expect in the end? Low wages and pensions and no rest, but a constant struggle with debts and half-starved old age. You have spent all your life as a childhood working for billionaires, for head of governments. You have been taken away. All your power, energy, and health has been taken away. You have been squeezed like a lemon. And after that, you have been just thrown like a trash into the dustbin. Written off. Is it right? But that's the world. This horrific reality of the modern society. This is what we should all expect in the end. Almost certainly, everything ends up this way. For the vast majority of people in today's world, as it ended up for their mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers, as it will end up in the present state of affairs. For their children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, then in their turn, for their children and grandchildren, and so on. That's the way of the world. Why? All of this is wrong, unfair. It must not exist. Why do some people have everything, but others have nothing? Why do some people walk in golden slippers, but the others barely make ends meet? They don't know how to feed their children, although all of them work honestly. Why does it happen? Yeah, we are all people. We are equal, aren't we? Then why? Because there is a lie around us. A huge, continuous, monstrous, embellishing lie. Do not people believe anything that is broadcasted daily on TV by satiated and well-groomed masters of lies? The people are not equal, and the money is not even a measure of labor. All of this is an insolent and shameless lie. We are surrounded by lie, and still most people trust it all and continue to live in the unfair and unjust world. Why do we cheat you? Just to make it easy to control you. Is every one of us equal? It's nonsense. Imagine yourself as a billionaire now, or even as an ordinary worthless member of the parliament. Are you equal in what? You live in a different way, eat in a different way, and rest in a different way. In one way, he spends more than you spend for a year. His wife is wearing underclothes more expensive than the whole wardrobe of your wife. He's treated in the best Swiss clinics. And what about you? His children and yours? Have you compared well? Where is your equality? Perhaps you are equal in right, aren't you? Oh, but we forgot about the right, as is written in the constitution of different countries, isn't it? But let's try to find out, what kind of equal right do we have with oligarchy or bankers? Just curious. The right to work? Well, we have such a right. However, some really work for peanuts, whereas the others hardly do anything. Any millions and billions. Is it normal? The right to elect and to be elected? Well, you can elect, of course. You are welcome. And what about to be elected? Here's quite a different story. To take part in election campaign, you need a lot of money. And where is it coming from? You will never earn it as a typical worker. Whereof in government, there are people who have expensive financial stock. It's problematic to participate in such election by the poor. There's no way to win. In fact, people are not equal in anything. A constantly progressing social inequality here. Here is the real picture. So what's money? Now we move on to money. Of course, money is not any measure of labor. These are fairy tales for idiots. Otherwise, you will live like a lord, or maybe you don't work much enough. Unfortunately, money is just a tool to hold all of us in slavery. We are all slaves of money. More precisely, we are slaves of those who print money. They are our masters. In fact, nothing has been changed at all during all these centuries on earth. We have been living so far in the slave-owning system, which has undergone barely external transformation. Everything has become just more civilized and sophisticated. Eve and Zion, we don't seem to have them. There is no shackles. We are supposedly free. However, things are different. It is money that is our shackles. It is in the modern world. In practice, none of us is free. Freedom is an illusion. Money, that's the point. We are really nothing without money. We need a home, clothes, food, and cannot live in a cave. And even to go hunting, we need money. Now, it is necessary to have money everywhere because everything around us is just for money. You cannot make a single step without it. But where can we find money? Maybe to earn it. Have you ever wondered what is it? It's immoral. Because trading yourself is immoral. Prostituting yourself is immoral. Also, trading your strength and brains and time is immoral. Yes. What is different from the trading your body as well as trading yourself for work? If everybody will stop doing his job, what is going to happen then? We'll resettle in cave again, won't we? That's ridiculous. The same convincing argument could be had for sure in the slave society when the slaveholders had been trying to make them understand the reason why they should remain slaves. And later, the same argument, the landlord to their serfs, clearly and confidently, after all, if you stop working, what's going to happen then? Our society will collapse and will die of hunger. Yes, it is necessary to work, to create something useful for the society. Otherwise, the society will degrade and die. But firstly, we have to work voluntarily, not for a bowl of soup, not only in order to survive. We have to do what we like. And secondly, while we are on the subject, once it is necessary to work, it is necessary for everyone. All people are equal, aren't they? So let everyone work. The situation when some people earn money in mines at the factory, wasting their efforts and errors, while others simply print it sitting down, is unacceptable. And there are no explanation and excuse to this state of affair. Absolutely not. Money is just a paper, candy wrappers, which is not backed by anything tangible. And according to that, money is simply printed unrestrictedly to anyone's art content. And then these candy wrappers are distributed among the slaves, among the likes of us as wages for labor. When we are given an extra wrapper, our salary is increased and we are happy. Are you shocked? Alas, that's our bitter reality. The whole financial world is a pyramid. How is the financial world organized? It's a pyramid. The Fed, the US, is at the heart of it. As much as they want, of course, the Fed adheres to some of their own internal rules and regulations. They try, for example, not to create too many dollars to prevent complete devaluation of the currency. But we introduce to you MMM, a new financial system. Financial apocalypse, that is the name. That's the only thing that can break our financial chains and save us all. Release us finally from the continuous slavery. Everything old will burn in its fire, and a new will appear. The Fed will be removed from the power and will no longer develop social inequalities. The banks as they are now will simply disappear. They will stop robbing the people. In fact, the banks do not produce anything useful. What useful can they do? Give credit as plundering interest. As a result of all the population is burdened with debts. Why do the banks get interest for the credit at all? Have you ever thought about it? It is usury. Always despised by all nations, and now it's legalized. Why? Nevertheless, modern banks were created for other purposes. They aren't interested in the society, but in their own goals. People aren't important for them. Modern banks are loyal servants to the Fed, hypocritical agents, misusing the product of labor of common people. We need freedom, and this freedom is almost here already now, thanks to MMM. Financial apocalypse is inevitable, unavoidable, since now it's just a question of time. The seed was dropped and it will grow. It's already growing. Right now, at this moment, it will not perish. Why does MMM stand for? MMM is a global mutual aid fund, All People's Bank, financial social network, or any definition whatsoever. The point is not in the title. The bottom line is that this is a voluntary informal association of millions and millions of people throughout the earth rebelling against our financial slavery, who choose to declare war against the Fed and banks and to win the war. And for this aim, they have consolidated their capital, even though they are small amounts, owing to great